ஒரே ஒரு 5 லிட்டர் இதய மந்த்ரா கடல் எண்ணெய் பேக் ஒரு மாசம் முழுசுக்கும் அத்தனை சமையல முடிச்சு விடலாம். இதய மந்த்ரா.
Following Friday's attacks on nuclear sites in the Islamic Republic of Iran, the military conflict continues. As I reported to the IAEA's Board of Governors and then to the United Nations Security Council last Friday, as you may have seen, the IAEA is monitoring the situation very carefully. Our Incident and Emergency Center has been up and running 24/7 from the start, ascertaining the status of Iran's nuclear facilities and the level of radiation at relevant sites through constant communication with Iranian authorities. The IAEA is ready to respond to any nuclear or radiological emergency within an hour. Based on the information available to the IAEA, the following is the current situation at Iran's nuclear sites. There has been no additional damage at the Natanz fuel enrichment plant site since the Friday attack, which destroyed the above-ground part of the pilot fuel enrichment plant, one of the plants at which Iran was producing uranium enriched up to 60% U-235. Electricity infrastructure at the facility, which included an electrical substation, a main electric power supply building, an emergency power supply and backup generators, was also destroyed. There has been no indication of a physical attack on the underground cascade hall containing part of the pilot fuel enrichment plant and the main fuel enrichment plant. However, the loss of power to the cascade hall may have damaged the centrifuges located there. The level of radioactivity outside the Natanz site has remained unchanged and at normal levels, indicating no external radiological impact to the population or the environment from this event. But let me elaborate a little bit on this, because we have received lots of questions. Within the Natanz facility, there is both radiological and chemical contamination. Considering the type of nuclear material at this facility, it is possible that uranium isotopes contained in uranium hexafluoride, uranyl fluoride, and hydrogen fluoride are dispersed inside the facility. The radiation, primarily consisting of alpha particles, poses a significant danger if uranium is inhaled or ingested. However, this risk can be effectively managed with appropriate protective measures, such as using respiratory protection devices while inside the affected facilities. The main concern inside the facility is the chemical toxicity of the uranium hexafluoride and the fluoride compounds generated at the contact with water. No damage has been seen at the site of the Fordow fuel enrichment plant or at the Condab heavy water reactor, which is under construction. Bushehr nuclear power plant has not been targeted or affected by the recent attacks, and neither has the Tehran research reactor. At the Isfahan nuclear site, 4 buildings were damaged in Friday's attack: the Central Chemical Laboratory, a uranium conversion plant, the Tehran reactor fuel manufacture plant, and the UF4 to EU metal processing facility, which was also under construction. As in Natanz, off-site radiation levels remain unchanged. I acknowledge the cooperation and exchange of information between the Iranian authorities and the IAEA, Amid these challenging and complex circumstances, it is crucial that the IAEA receives timely and regular technical information about the facilities and their respective sites. This information is needed to promptly inform you, the international community, and ensure an effective response and assistance to any emergency situation in Iran. Without information, we cannot accurately assess the radiological conditions and potential impacts on the population and the environment, and cannot provide the necessary assistance. The agency, dear colleagues, is and will remain present in Iran. Safeguards inspections in Iran will continue as soon as safety conditions allow, and is required under Iran's NPT safeguards obligation. I am, and I have been throughout the weekend personally, in touch with the inspectors on the ground. Their safety remains our top priority, and all necessary actions are being taken to ensure they are not harmed. I stand ready, as I said before, to travel immediately and engage with all relevant parties to help ensure the protection of nuclear facilities and the continued peaceful use of nuclear technology in accordance with the agency mandate, including by deploying agency nuclear security and safety experts in addition to our safeguards inspectors in Iran wherever necessary. Madam Chairperson, military escalation threatens lives, increases the chance of a radiological release with serious consequences for people and the environment, and delays indispensable work towards a diplomatic solution for the long-term assurance that Iran does not acquire nuclear weapons. Consistent with the objective of the IAEA and its statute, I call on all parties to exercise maximum restraint to avoid further escalation. Dear friends, as you know very well, last week this board adopted an important resolution on Iran's safeguards obligations. The resolution, while containing important proliferation-related provisions, also stressed support for a diplomatic solution to the problems posed by the Iranian nuclear program. Member states of the IAEA have a crucial, active role to play in supporting the urgent move away from military escalation towards diplomacy. I urge you to pursue every possible diplomatic avenue, and I assure you that I remain ready to play my part, including, as I said, by traveling immediately at the earliest possibility to assess the situation and ensure safety, security, and non-proliferation in Iran. Dear colleagues, there is arguably no more important and universally supported endeavor than ensuring humankind uses the enormous power of the atom for good and not for destruction. For more than 60 years, the IAEA has been central in helping its member states to turn this desire into real progress. With the IAEA's clear mandate and unique assets, I reaffirm the agency's readiness to facilitate technical discussions and to support efforts that promote transparency, safety, security, and the peaceful resolution of this whole situation. Distinguished colleagues, final reflection. For the second time in 3 years, we are witnessing a dramatic conflict between two IAEA member states, in which nuclear installations are coming under fire and nuclear safety is being compromised. The IAEA, just as has been the case with the military conflict between Russia and Ukraine, will not stand idly during this conflict. We can and will act within our statutory mandate to assist in preventing a nuclear accident that could result in unpredictable radiological consequences. For the IAEA to act, a constructive professional dialogue will have to ensue, and this must happen sooner rather than later. Intractable As it may seem today, at the heat of the continuing military conflict, we have shown before that, even in such circumstances, respectful and impartial technical assistance can benefit everyone. I will continue my constant communication with the opposing parties to seek the most appropriate way to make this happen. And I ask member states, you, to support me in these efforts. I hope these boards, and especially member states with the greatest capacity to do so, will heed this call to assist the IAEA in helping those who today are exchanging fire to avoid the worst. There is always time, and there is always a place for diplomacy. Thank you very much.